I am so excited to talk with you ladies about the everything pot. There were so many emotions. This was a roller coaster. And a lot of it was me being like, do not make this decision. Sabotaging your lives. Don't do this, ladies. So I wanted to start with you, Lisa. I actually saw one of the Holly shorts that you were in last year. The
Swipe,
this not swipe left, but the one where
swipe.
yes,
Yeah.
there we go. Swipe. I was like swipe NYC. There we go. And it was about kind of getting back into the dating game after, like divorce and being an empty nester, and just kind of the idea of redefining adulting, redefining kind of getting redefining the idea of, okay, by this age I need to be settled, I need to be kind of in this space. And we kind of see that through to this role where we're like, we're 20 years into it, this marriage should be settled and we should be happy and everything's fine and it's cool. And it's like, well, maybe everything's not fine. I
Right.
wanted to ask you, what is it kind of about these types of roles that appeals to you? What is it about these that makes you kind of want to portray them?
Well, they're midlife roles,
Mhm.
and we don't have enough of them. And that's why they seem so unique because like women disappear between being able to have a baby and being old.
Yeah.
But this is the most interesting and powerful time of our lives when we are no longer worried about getting pregnant, but we have an incredible amount of life experience and a lot of energy and very, very vital and very relevant, and no one's telling our stories.
Right.
So when I read Sherese's script, I was like, fuck yeah, she's telling the story. And she's a woman of a certain age who is starting a new career.
Mhm.
And I want to support that,
Yeah.
because no one else is gonna.
Right.
It's up to us. We've got to do it. The ladies got to do it for ourselves.
And I love that. And I love, Gina, your character in this. I love that the guy at the end, he kind of comes up to the table and he looks at your character. He's like, I kind of assume that you're the one in charge here. I
Oh my
absolutely love
God.
that. It's like, well, that's
Drink,
Gina
the
Torres,
drink
of
order
course.
is my favorite.
The drink order sounds
I
pretty
love the drink order
fantastic. I
so
might
much.
try that tonight.
And they're just
But I
like,
wanted,
yes, ma'am. Like you walk away going,
You
yes, ma'am,
did.
I will do exactly what you
He
said.
did. Yeah. 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 I'm like,
exactly.
oh, you're
Well,
gorgeous. Yes, he did. He walked away and said, okay, gorgeous.
one thing I kind of love about that, just kind of bringing in that fourth wall element of it, as women, and we kind of get beset with that strong woman thing, and which is great and which is fine, but we also want to support each other and we want to uplift each other. And a big part of that is kind of stepping back and is kind of taking that supporting role. Because even though you are the Gina Torres, you do have a supporting role in this. Tell me kind of about the idea of like taking like those kind of supporting roles where it's like you just have a couple lines and you don't have to kind of be the marquee role, but it's like, you're doing this because you want to make sure that this story gets told.
I, that's so funny because I don't, I've never not played a supporting role. It's like all my roles are supporting roles. Like I'm in support of the story. I'm
Mhm.
there in support of the story. I'm there as a character in support of the other characters. I'm there in support of Lisa. I'm there in support of Sherise. So it's not an ego
Mhm.
thing for me, especially since, this the idea of the whole the Gina Torres of it all. That's like
That's what I call her. I don't, that's her pronoun. It's very the Gina Torres. Is the Gina Torres taking lunch?
HEE. Yes.
I mean, I'm in my mid 50s, so I've gotten, all the way to this part just doing what I love to do. And so Lisa said it. It's just I'm in support of this beautiful story that I read, this script that I read. I'm in support of this beautiful actress who I get to play best friends with. Um, and to be able to show that relationship in an authentic, beautiful, and funny, humorous way to see all sides of that, of what a real female friendship looks like. When you're in the trenches, when it's good times, when you're laughing, when you're just, when you're you're somebody's lifesaver, when they're out in the middle of the ocean, you're like, I got you, you're here. We don't get to see enough of that, because you're right, because women our age, or strong women at any age, are supposed to have all the answers, and we don't.
Yeah.
It's life.
It's funny you said that, because it does feel like we kind of become islands and they set us out to float. And it's like, no, we don't.
Until we're old and we're adorable.
Right. Adorable. And they give us a string of pearls that we clutch.
Right.
We got our hair go gray.
Yeah.
We limp around. We don't have too much physical power to overwhelm anybody.
Yeah, no.
But we have a lot of wisdom.
Right. Now, Sherise,
Crohn's.
I think, right. The script was so interesting. And one thing that I loved about it is, I always say, kind of when it comes to things that are based on like true stories, you never really quite get the drama, because, everything has to kind of wrap up in a realistic way. But with this, the drama was just kind of inherent. You still kind of got those thrills, but it was wrapped up in a way where it left you kind of wanting more, and you wanted to kind of see what was going to happen next. All these characters are really very kind of realized. Tell me, just in terms of these relationships, because I know you said it was based off like a personal experience. When it came to kind of wrapping it up, tell me, how much was basically kind of like wish fulfillment? How much did you just kind of get to play out? And then how much was like, okay, yeah, this is something like really happened?
Well, really, what really happened was first 16 pages. And I was going to originally make this as a short film, and that was all verbatim, what happened to me upon receiving a wedding invitation. And then the pandemic, and I had time to kind of sit, and I was thinking, what is it about me? Like, what is missing in my life and my own relationship that would cause me to be so excited about a wedding invitation from someone that I worked with a while ago, but wasn't really an important person in my life. I mean, I enjoyed having him in my life, but it wasn't like I was pining for this person or had any sort of relationship beyond platonic. And I just thought it'd be interesting to kind of live through these characters and kind of play out what would transpire if they kind of followed their wrong choices. And I'm gonna be observing my 25th year anniversary this August, and
Wow.
it's
like Memorial Day.
it's like Memorial Day. I don't use the word celebrate, but it's
Perfect.
Her poor husband was
Love it. I know.
He's watching you tell this story.
I know. Well, he has resisted therapy as well, and so I think he's going to get the message at some point. But I like the open-endedness of the ending. I wrote it, I directed it, and I don't know what's going to happen. So
I'm a little disappointed, because I was going to ask you what flavor ice cream it really was. But just the first 16 pages, huh?
oh,
Okay.
I thought I was more exciting.
There was a perfect quote where
gelato.
All right.
there was a perfect quote where she said, we have to kind of watch all of these things happen again that we'll never get to experience again. And I thought that was so poignant. And then, because on one hand, it's like, well, you did get to experience them, but on the other hand, it's like, but it'd be nice to do it again, kind of that ennui of it all. So I thought it was so beautifully done. And again, I don't want you to think, Lisa, that that you are not the Lisa Edelstein, because I was so excited as well.
I am the Gina Torres.
There we go. It was funny. I was so excited to see.
Exactly.
Right. I was so excited to see both of you ladies on the screen. I was like, between House and Suits, we have two women that have great careers just dealing with silly men, and just kind of being strong and bold. And then to have this movie where both were so vulnerable and so just bright and real and funny, and make mistakes but own up to them. It was so lovingly done, and in a wonderful script, a wonderful film that was so beautifully directed. So thank you so much, ladies, for taking time to talk with me about this film. I can't wait for more people to see it. And
Thank you so much.